Hello there. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's semi-original guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you a brand new community battle matchup. Today we have Purple Totoro versus GV Anna, returning player on the channel here. We are fighting on Walking with Machines. Walking with Machines today, folks. We have a battle ahead of us, folks. Little bit of a different battle because we have Kindle versus Max today. Kindle versus Max. Now, for those of you that don't know, Max is pretty strong on Walking with Machines. Pretty strong indeed. He's actually able to contend with some of the big boys, such as Von Bolt. So, interesting matchup indeed. Now, GV Anna, they like to only play the female characters in Advanced Wars, so I believe that's why they chose Kindle today. Because it was one of the only options. One of the only options here. But, nonetheless, Kindle is a contender on this map. A contender indeed. Now, Walking with Machines. Now, this is a map. It's a map, folks. Alright, it's a map. 2 base, 1 airport, lots of cities, lots of open terrain. Definitely favorable to the old Max Arena for sure. But Kindle definitely has some play on this map. Now, as you can see, lots and lots of cities, lots of roads, lots of areas where Kindle and Max could be effective. Now, Max definitely is going to be effective here because with the comm tower, that's 130% firepower for his direct combat units. Kindle 150% on cities, so should be cool stuff, folks. So as you all know, Maxi Boy, the king of direct combat, gets that 120 firepower day to day for all those direct combat units. Indirect combat units, you just don't want to use them. They're not very good. Minus range, minus firepower. Although, makes up for indirect combat for sure. Max force and max blast, increasing those movement by +1, +2, and firepower bonus indeed. Kindle, on the other hand, we all know Kindle. We cover Kindle on the channel all the time because everybody wants to pick Kindle. Everybody wants to pick Kindle. Tier 3, folks. Queen of Tier 3. Now, 140% firepower on cities. Urban Blight does 3 damage globally to anything on a city or a property. And High Society, 3% firepower bonus per city owned. And increasing that firepower bonus on cities to 130% plus that bonus. So, can be pretty dicey, folks. Pretty dicey for anybody fighting our friend Kindle. Now, just to go ahead and make this a little bit better, we're gonna make Blue Moon Purple Totoro, Purple Tortoro today. Tortoro. That's nice. He's going to be playing as Blue Moon. Now, we're just going to jump ahead here and make sure the infantry are facing the right way. And they are. Okay. So, without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and get into this community battle and see what goes down. See y'all there, folks. Alrighty, so day 1, standard infantry builds. Gotta get the infantry on the field, folks. That is the only way to go. Now, we're gonna skip all the way over to day 7. Now, capture chains definitely happen down here. That's what you want to do. Both players have got their back properties capped. Anna going for this property here. Airports going to be capped next turn here, as we can see. Movement is happening. Day 8, top of the board, Purple Totoro. I'm going to see what he does. Now, we got a nice little tank chain coming from the south here. Properties are starting to be capped in the middle. Anna got 2 tanks right here. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Unfortunately, for our friend Max, his tank out of 2-hit range, so we don't want to be fighting into that. And Anna's got 2 tanks up here, so, you know, spreading out the tanks pretty good. We got a recon on the field. Very interesting stuff. Recon might be effective in stopping some of those capture chains, save a few of your infantry from utter defeat, that's for sure. Alright, so moving the majority of the tanks over to the eastern front here to actually contend with these 2 tanks. Now, it does look like Anna has a artillery on the field. Kindle artillery, very effective on cities. You know, they're going to get a massive firepower bonus. But they are very susceptible to Max. Very susceptible. So, let's see here. So, Anna. Looks like they potentially have one attack they could do. They could go for the recon. However, got an old tanky boy right there. So, you know, it might not be the best option to go in for that attack. We're going to see what they do. Alright, so they don't decide to go in for that attack. And they actually do block off their infantry right here, which is very nice. However, it does look like it is possible for this recon to wrap around. And it looks like we could possibly get a 2-shot on this guy, which would leave the tank open to a strike from this tank here. However, that attack is very risky considering that we have coverage for both of these guys right here. So right away, it looks like Max is in a little bit of a pickle, not actually able to push up there. And it does look like Anna is having very good coverage on the cities right now. That's not something that you really want to be attacking into. Ooh, so we do actually go in for the interrupt there. Now, though, that is definitely going to yield us a loss in a recon and possibly an infantry here. I can easily see an attack coming in here. Now, whether or not they're going to take that attack is another question, because we have 2 tanks ready to go right here. So, very cool stuff. Now, Max definitely doing the right call here. I think definitely this is a call for a copter sort of a match right here. Definitely want to get the copters on the field. The copters are definitely going to increase that unit count for one. And also as Max, they're incredibly effective at attacking Kindle on cities. So that's going to force Anna to definitely respond with copters or anti-airs themselves. Now, if they respond with anti-airs, it's going to severely lower the amount of tanks that they're able to use. So, risky play there, but, you know, not the worst thing. So we actually do respond with an anti-air and a battlecopter, which is very cool because we have the money to do so. So, you know, you might as well go for it, right? But now we're only going to be sitting at 1,700, maybe 1,800 if we do manage to get this property. So 1,800 is a really good spot to be when you're fighting Max, because you are able to buy that copter. You're able to buy the tank or the anti-air, and you're able to buy the infantry. So you're able to get a unit for every single property every single day. But Max sitting at 19 can do the exact same thing. So definitely want to be watching out for that. Putting 2 tanks in the front line right here versus these tanks here, but I don't think this is a bad move because this damage is not really going to be significant. And in addition to that, you know, we have a copter. Copter chains are coming right now, folks. And we have an anti-air down here from Max too, so very nice. We do got to watch out for this artillery though. This artillery is going to be a major problem if we don't do something about that too. Once the artillery reaches the center here, it's going to be able to hold the choke points very, very well. So this is a pretty good up position here for this artillery. Obviously we just captured that property here, but even putting it on the city here would be a little bit risky because this unit here would be susceptible to a 2-shot from these infantry and would actually allow a tank to move up and attack it. Battlecopter is a really good coverage for that though, so not necessarily too bad there. I probably would not go in for that attack. Now, Anna definitely playing conservative over here, bringing the Tankerino Rexes in the back here. Not allowing any first strikes from those guys. And Max kind of doing the same, you know, it doesn't really want to push up into that. Basically, at this point, whoever decides to push up and attack into those lines first would probably get counterattacked so severely that it would be game-ending. depending on how many units you pushed up into, right? Now, I've played on walking with machines many, many times, and a lot of the time it ends up being a center fight right here, for me at least, right? One person decides to do an attack in the center, and the other person counterattacks, and it's just devastating. It's devastating. So, playing conservative is definitely the way to go for walking with machines. Unless you actually spot a chance for you to push up really, really far, definitely want to play conservative and try to get your opponent to push into you. Now, Anna coming in here with the dishonorable Neo tank. Minus 3 points for the dishonorable Neo tank, although I do understand it. We're fighting Max. You want to be able to get the big, heavy, stinky units up in the front line, you know, just stinking up the place with their 4 legs and their little nose. But, you know, it's just so stinky. I don't know. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. In all reality, though, it's a very good choice. You do want to get the big guys out there. Medium tanks versus Max. They are classy and beautiful, and they can definitely do a lot of damage. Neo tank's going to be a little bit faster getting to the front lines, though, in this case. And it looks like Max decides to follow along the stinky, dishonorable path of building Neo tanks here. So now we have 2 stinky, dishonorable Neo tanks on the field, walking around with their little legs and their little chubby bodies, being all stinky, leaving their stink trails all over the place. So yeah, we're gonna follow along the path of stink here, and we can see here that this entire trail right here is now incredibly stinky, and we should probably just wash this down with Lysol wipes as soon as we possibly get a chance to. But carrying on with the match. Now it looks like Anna has finally had a opportunity to grab one of these center cities, which is very good. Because being behind in income is not where you want to be as Kendall. You want to be ahead in income for sure. I mean, just anybody you want to be ahead in income. Now pushing full mid here, not a bad choice. Doesn't really look like there's too many opportunities to bust open this line here, and even if like we did a full push and managed to take out the infantry, would leave us very little options to attack these guys here. We'd be able to do a little bit of damage, but the counterattacks would just be devastating. Just devastating. Mainly because of this artillery, right? This one artillery right here is being the biggest deterrent of all time. So, yeah, props to the artillery. Definitely MVP right now. Okay, so going in for an attack. All right, cool. Yeah, so this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, right? So 10s are, what I tend to see on this map is somebody decides to do something like this, right? Where they go in and attack a few guys, and then something happens, right? So we're gonna see if Anna decides to do a counterattack to this. Because an attack like this, these infantry can easily move back, right? This guy can move back here. This guy can, I don't know, you can go somewhere out of the way, you know. But then we have this infantry right here that can come down and attack this guy. And then this infantry would be able to either attack this guy or this guy, right? Probably attack this guy, if anything, but that's a good use of the infantry, actually. We want to interrupt that cap. Very nice. Okay, so we actually do not go and attack into that. We pull back and put our Neo, the big stinky Neo with its stink trail, right here in the front lines. So that's a pretty big deterrent. It does look like a copter would be able to hit the Neo, but it wouldn't really do a whole lot of damage. That would result in losing a copter. These copters would definitely come in afterwards. But you know, that might do something, right? You never know. Alright, so it looks like Max is pushing mid over here. Okay, so an attack like this, This attack does not really look all that strong to me, unfortunately. It looks like there's quite a few spots where some pretty major damage can happen here, right? I mean, the Neo can easily bust a hole in here, and then we might be able to take this guy out. The copters cover quite a bit, though, and I mean, there is a lot of tanks as deterrence here, but it's kind of putting all your eggs in one basket, you know? Let's see what Anna decides to do. Yeah. So, yeah, we're pretty much easily able to break through that spot right there. And we do manage to set up in a way that's actually pretty good here. So now if the Neo does decide to come in here, we have an an artillery support for the Neo tank. But we do have a lot of tanks sort of vulnerable right here. So it's possible Max might be able to do quite a bit of damage here. But would it be enough though? I don't know. Right? We would be able to attack with... If we actually forego this cap, right, we could take these two infantry, probably be able to take out this infantry here. We can move in with the tank right here, possibly do maybe 3 damage to this Neo tank. And then this Neo tank would be able to come in and probably take it down to 1. But the issue with that is then our Neo tank would be beside a city, and we're fighting Kindle. So, it is a little bit risky, and I mean, that would be Urban Blight territory. Alright, so going in with the max force. So very cool. Now, was it really necessary to do it in that order? I guess so. We're still quite a bit of ways away, right? So, doing it this way gets us max force. So technically, we should be able to do quite a bit of damage here. Ooh, so Neo tank survives, so it's gonna be able to be stinky another day. Okay, so we did manage to one-shot that, so that's okay. Now, let's just sort of rewind for a second here. Max does manage to come in here with a pretty devastating attack. We did do huge amount of damage to that front line. And we took a Neo down to 1 HP. And they're kissing, so that's cool, you know? Little kissing Neo tanks. And we do a high society. High society, folks. We're not even doing Urban Blight. We're going right to high society. And this is actually pretty good because we have 19 properties, right? Now, I'm pretty sure high society doesn't actually count the HQ and the bases or the airport. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, maybe 15? I guess that would make sense, 15. So that's a pretty significant firepower bonus. Might be more than 15. I'm not counting again, but either way. So we managed to take out a Neo. Massive hit there. Let's just instant replay that. Like, oh my lord. Oh my lord. See, that's the kind of stuff that you like to see. You like to see old stinky Neo tanks getting their what for. All right. So very nice counterattack here from Anna. Now this actually, this takes a little bit of game knowledge right here to go for something, go for a move like this rather than going for an Urban Blight. Because Urban Blight would be able to do a little bit of damage, right? Like we would do a little bit of damage to things on cities, sap some funds. But an attack like this, we managed to do like well over 40k, like almost 50k damage to the entire army with that attack, and put us in a very good position here. Now this actually will most likely force Max to pull back. Or they can decide to push forward. Alright, so they don't even push back, they just push completely forward. So they did decide to attack the anti-air instead of the Neo tank, which is like not a bad call. I would probably I would really want to eliminate that Neo tank, because that Neo tank, if we don't do anything about it, it's gonna be stinking up the plays for the entire game. It's gonna be very difficult to take that guy out, right? So I'd probably attack that and just guarantee that that's taken out. But that's just me. Yeah, because now that Neo tank's gonna move over there and start stinking up the place a little bit more. And GV does manage to get a nice little counter attack here to that push. And begins actually capping another city here. So if we manage to get that city, it's going to put us at equal footing. Equal 2020. 2020 vision for the future. But Max goes in with another Max Force. And GV's got a lot of injured units here. So Max Force is going to be able to devastate this little center line here. And if we do manage to take out this pesky little artillery, it's going to do tons of damage to GV's army here. Nice. Nice. Little 1 HP tank damage over there. I don't really like the infantry moving up and attacking this right now. Now, I can see why, because, I mean, possibly we could manage to take it out, but I'd probably just save that attack for now. Do something else with it, because we would be able to possibly even taking the I don't know if this tank would finish off this tank, but 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 no. Probably take this copter. I'd finish this guy off, right? And I'd take this copter, and I'd finish this guy off. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I'd have to finish off this guy next turn too, with another tank. Now that's gonna pretty severely overextend us, but those are the main threats right now, right? If we don't take out that anti-air in the back, then anti-air is gonna be very effective against our copters. Yeah, 5 HP anti-air, especially if we manage to get down to this city or something. It's gonna do so much damage. So we don't manage to get to the city. That's okay, but we do lots of damage, right? So 5 HP anti-air, still incredibly effective against copters. And pop an Urban Blight. Now, can't actually do any damage to this other copter, so we're gonna wall it off. Massive damage against the tank, though. Pretty smart move here, actually. I don't mind this move at all. So, instead of attacking this guy, we choose to wall this guy off, which is gonna guarantee us the kill on this copter, because there's pretty much no way that they'll be able to get through here. The only way that they would be able to get through here is 1 2 3 4 5 6. They would have to they'd have to infantry copter maybe, and tank copter, which would still result in the trade of a copter for the anti-air, and also leave the rest of the army very crippled. So they're basically their Max's only option right now is to pull back. Builds another stinky Neo tank though. I'm not really a huge fan of that. So yeah, they're gonna have to pull back, and this is what I mean about keeping that Neo tank alive, right? If we had taken that Neo tank out, there'd be no 7 HP Neo tank here right now. We'd have another anti-air, but no 7 HP Neo tank. So A little bit risky keeping that guy alive, man. And then GV decides to just push in. Push in with the bulk of the army here. Starting caps. Starting caps, man. There's caps everywhere. This side 2 caps. Now Max pushes up a little bit. We do manage to take out that little frontal attack that just happened here. But there's just so much damage going on here. We actually have another attack on a Neo tank here that is completely possible. Double possible with the Urban Blight too. Let's see if they go for it. Yeah, they do go for it. It's another Neo tank down right there. Another Neo tank down, 5 HP. With the same Neo tank that's just been getting her done. Getting her done. Staying alive. Staying stinky. Stinking up the place. This entire center right now just reeks of Neo tank feet. It's terrible stuff, man. Terrible stuff. Alright, day 20. Max Blast. Now this is very good for Max, having Max Blast, because the Max Blast is going to be able to definitely contend with this Neo tank. So we're going to end up winning this trade. But the main problem right now is we have to do something about the anti-air, and we have to do something about the copter. And this guy right here, this guy is stinking up the place too. But in a good way. You know, in a good way. He's doing a lot of damage, so it's nice. But unless we manage to take out this, center's going to be lost, because the copters are not going to be able to contend here. So we'll see who he does. So using the copters, take out the Neo tank. Not the worst, I guess. Not the worst. Not the worst. You know, I don't mind that. Okay, so that pushes us forward a little bit. But the problem is now that leaves our Neo tank in a position to be destroyed by this artillery. And that's what we really didn't want to happen here. We do not want to lose that Neo tank. Because at this point, the Neo tank is our main source of attacking. So just throwing that out willy-nilly to another artillery shot, not my favorite thing. Yeah, not my favorite thing. So even though they're going to be ahead in the copter game right now, I don't like the fact that they are below in the tech game. And it looks like Anna is actually building a rocket. So straight out of the playbook of Xylito himself. Another person in my Discord server, Xylito, known for his rockets. Known for his rockets, folks. Alright. So this would be really good if this infantry was full HP, because we would actually get that switch. But the fact that it's not full HP, we're definitely not going to get it. So that is unfortunate, but brave in the attempt for sure. Alright, Max unable to push up into that. We definitely don't want to be doing that. Anna definitely able to cap a couple properties, swing it in her favor at the moment. Now sitting at 22 to 18. Now aside from unit count itself, the value is very similar. And we have another stinky Neo tank on the field, folks. Another stinky Neo tank. This is what happens when you put your faith in Neo tanks, folks. You gotta believe in the MDs, man. Believe in the mediums. Oh well, that's okay. Alright, so at this point, we have a Neo pushing really, really far over to the side, leaving the center fairly open at the moment. Anna, looks like they're going over to the side as well. There we go. That's the classy boy right there. Beautiful. Now Anna, it looks like Anna is actually able to shift over here fairly confidently, because the fact that Max has no infantry, these cities are not in any danger at the moment. of being capped, so they are able to flip or shift over like the bulk of their army over here. And we actually do manage to get this property, so very cool. I didn't expect it to happen, but it looks like it happened. No, I don't think it would have happened if we actually put the rocket down here like a few turns ago, though. Yeah, so the bulk of that army moving over here was actually to defeat the rocket. So, yeah, okay. Probably wouldn't have worked. Okay, but Purple Max moving into the center now. And Anna's actually a little bit spread out here. So this little chunk of the army is a little bit isolated from the rest of them right now. So, double artillery over here. Definitely a punished overextend right there. You don't want to be doing that. It's a little too risky for my biscuit. Double Neos. Double Neos. Triple Neos on the field now. Alright, there we go. Alright, Max, you're redeemed. We got the class bow on the field. A little bit of an exposed situation right here, though, so we're going to see what Anna decides to do. Okay, so we're not going to push up. We're just going to shift our units around. So now we got two guys in the center right here. Copters to defend against copter attacks, so very nice. Neo not quite in position to attack this guy, though, so... Okay. 23 to 17, 22 to 18 again. We do manage to flip one of the cities. Pushing over mid again. A little bit over to the mid, you know, over by the western front over here. Not really any way to get over here. Although we do leave an infantry exposed right here to the rocket shot, so rocket's going to get slight value at the moment. And it does look like purple's trying to flip a city over here, so very good on him. But it's met with a copter that's almost out of fuel. So not really too much is going to be happening with that guy. Pushing the Neos in the mid. 3 Neos in the mid. Medium tank. This is nice. This is actually kind of good. So in a position like this, where the walls are happening, I think what you really have to do is you have to give your opponent something to shoot at to make them sort of, to lull them into a false sense of security, more or less, right? So I think by giving the player a medium tank to attack, Ada might be trying to bait them to go in, right? Because even if we lose the medium tank, which, you know, granted could happen with like a Neo and like a copter hit maybe, but very unlikely. The Neo counterattack would just be devastating at that point. Just absolutely devastating. And we got day 29 already, so this is a long battle. Battle of attrition, folks. And it's definitely just a shifty poo kind of battle. I don't like the amount of copters over here, though. I think we definitely need to shift some copters over into the mid. The mid is more likely where the fighting is going to happen. Because if this army did shift over here and attack into this corner, that would leave it very vulnerable for these just to shift over here and like do some more damage, right? But I don't know, I would definitely shift them over. A little bit more valuable over here in the mid, I think. But we're trying to keep out of copter range right now, so that's definitely what we're trying to do. Another shift over in the mid, and the game has gone on long enough that it looks like our Max player has actually built an APC down here, a little APC of legend, action-packed combat over here. To actually resupply the copters because they're running out of fuel, so very nice. Alright, interrupting the caps. Don't want to lose that income swing at the moment. Gotta keep that income good and high. See, this is what I like right here. So we got to, yeah, just copters. Copters aplenty. 5 copters in the center. That's gonna make like any sort of push that could potentially happen just fail if he goes in, right? Doesn't look like he's going in just yet. It's another shifty poo turn, right? We're leaving the Neos in a fairly good spot. And it looks like we're just waiting for the attack to happen right now. Day 31 though, and I think at this point, I was watching this match, and this is around the time when GVN actually sent a message basically promising to end the match very soon. Ending the match very soon. So, looks like they actually go in with a little medium attack over here. So, unfortunately, medium is here. But these guys are pushing in. Like, this is a devastating army. Like, there's almost no possible way of attacking into that. So, we're going to see what happens, though, because it looks like a max force is happening. So, something is happening, folks. And I can assure you that this is definitely the climax of this little adventure of ours right now. These guys are about to clash Titan style. So we're going to see. So Max manages to push in, do a little bit of damage here, taking out a backline copter. Full sending, taking out one of the Neos. Ooh, just doing tons of damage here. Just pushing right into the mid. Heart of the beast. Building some more tanks. But 34 units still, right? Fairly even income. High society. Now at this point, high society is given fairly close to a 60% firepower bonus for all those units. And with those units, we do actually manage to push in quite a bit. Just one-shotting a classy medium tank. I was very conflicted about that sort of engagement, you know? It's like, I don't want to see the classy boys go, but if a classy boy is gonna go, it might as well be another classy boy. And we do actually manage to spot a way to attack all three of the big tech up units and push in even farther here, right? So day 33 with about a 120 some odd, 125,000 deficit in the army right now. Looks like Max has decided to resign. So our queen of tier 3, Kindle, has reigned supreme on walking with machines. And definitely, she was walking with machines for this one. Now, unfortunately, this entire battlefield is riddled with the stench of Neo tanks, but we have a little medium tank here cleaning up the place, making it classy again for all the folks to enjoy. But speaking of enjoying, I hope you guys definitely enjoyed that one from home. It was a banger. It was definitely a banger. I've been watching this match for like a month, just waiting for it to end, so I'm super excited to cast it on the channel here. And hopefully you all enjoyed, and if you did, and if you have any replays you might want featured on the channel, feel free to send me a message on Discord or Advanced Wars by Web. You can find me as Mr. Cannon on Advanced Wars by Web, or Mr. Cannon Semi-Original Guy. I'll also leave the link in the description below to my Discord so you can join, drop me matches there, come have a chat, say hi. It's a good time. Alrighty, folks. So until next time, take care. Bye-bye for now.